Am I cool yet? Like if I wear these look like swimming goggles. Okay, if this card says fool, then I will fight. But today, I'm gonna be filming the 5 things I wish I knew before coming to GW. And I don't know, I guess the inspiration for this video kinda came from my personal reflection. Like summer for me is always a restorative, reinvigorating, reflective period, you know, the 3 R's or whatever. You're probably gonna hear that a lot. You're probably gonna hear a lot of like refreshing, reflective, just like sending you those vibes. But yeah, on a more serious note, I always kind of look back at my year and think about like what can I do better, that way I'm not as stressed or not, I guess, prioritizing things that seem important in the moment, but ultimately I'll forget about like within a 2 to 3 week period. So without further ado, my first tip, or actually rather my 5 things I wish I knew prior to coming to GW. To be honest, I wish I knew that the energy Foggy, or the energy Foggy has rather, is very much high school competition, college app season energy year long. And maybe I am wrong for making that judgment, but I mean ultimately you're going to GW, you're with like-minded young men and women who have big aspirations and follow through with that. So sometimes it was difficult for me because I'm trying to reprioritize my mental health and my faith and different aspects of my life that are not attached to how well I perform in school. That doesn't mean school isn't important, but it's kind of weird trying to slow yourself down or slow your ambition down, but practically everyone hits you with the "I'm working with the Obamas and I'm curing cancer" line. That's really dramatic, but no, people will tell you like, yeah, I'm working for the Obamas, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. It's like, so when do you get sleep? So I just kind of wish I knew that prior to coming to GW, because I don't know, I was very much in the mindset of like, oh, I have completed half of the battle, or in my mind at the time, all of the battle. I got into college, I can kind of take a deep breath, but then I get onto campus and I'm like, wow, like I'm not doing as amazing things as these other people, or as these other people are. So yeah, it was definitely a lesson in teaching me to be comfortable with the hard work I put forth, which I always do, and as other people say, comparison is a game you will always lose. So it just was a big self-confidence builder, because I had to be completely secure with what I was bringing to the table, even if my plate wasn't stacked. I wish I knew not to sleep on the Vern. I cannot emphasize that enough. And I have to put a disclaimer out there, because I lived in Thurston Hall, so that's on GW's Foggy Bottom campus. So I'm saying this in retrospect, and also saying this with somebody who like clearly hasn't lived on the Vern. And I have talked to a number of people who have emphasized that the quality of life is very different on the Vern versus Foggy Bottom. But yeah, I just found myself, I mean, struggling with, I guess, the Thurston environment. Not having quiet, not having space, not always being clean. And I'm not talking about like within my room, I'm talking about like even in public or communal spaces in the dormitory. So I just was flooded with a lot of dirt, a lot of noise. Our room was right by the elevator, so a lot of times it would take me even longer to sleep. And as the spring semester kind of came to a close, I was on the Vern a lot, studying at the library, just kind of being there. It was like a little oasis in the middle of the city. And I think the reason is because I grew up in a highly suburban environment. Like, I'm in the hills. Like, we in the hills. So that, I think the Vern represented more of the life that I'm used to or that I grew up with. So I feel like it would have been a fair enough transition before heading to Foggy. I don't regret living on Foggy though, but I have to say, like, you are in the city. Like, you are watching people constantly jetting to work, jetting to classes, jetting here, jetting to meetings. So I think if you're someone like me who has lived in the suburbs, don't underestimate the city environment and how that can play into your stress. 3, who's counting? I wish I knew how different social life is on this campus, on GW's campus. And I feel like maybe other city campuses can relate, whether you go to BU, NYU, or GW. But since I go to GW, I'll speak about the GW environment. And it's not that people are stuck up or mean or not willing to help, because I do feel like our campus has some of the most amiable, lighthearted, funny, just down-to-earth people. Like, I came from a high school where, like, I just constantly overthought what I was going to say, and then I just kind of came into college and just talked to everyone and anyone, and there wasn't that sense of clickiness. But what I mean about the social environment is sometimes it does feel like it is just like the young professional lifestyle much earlier. Like, there are times where I'm like, wow, like, especially because I visit UMD a lot for, like, devotion and to hang out with, like, other friends. Sometimes I wish I had the quintessential, like, college experience, heading to football games. I don't know, all that green, all that, I don't know, just, like, one community. Like, there's barely anything around you, so you're forced to, like, enjoy your campus life. Whereas with DC, like, the city is yours, like, yours to explore and yours to have fun with and yours to work in. So people aren't always, doing, typical college students things. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm not trying to characterize one picture of college, but I guess that's probably what I was struggling with. Just like, oh, everybody is, like, 100% on their grind, whether that be a club meeting or an internship or a job or classes. And then also because, we do have sports teams, but I feel like often, like, basketball can take us only so far with having unifying events that bring the whole campus together. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. It's not something I dislike, but it's just something that maybe you want to keep in the back of your mind. I wish I knew how hard classes are at GW. And I don't know, I can't really compare across a board of fine institutions, but what I can say is I think I went to a pretty like rigorous high school. Like, I did not finesse in high school. I worked just about as hard as I'm working in college now. But coming to GW, I was like, there is no easy class. And I think an example that I kind of ran into is usually like your language classes are a bit, slow paced, that's going to help your GPA. But for me, even a language like Spanish, I'm like, having to fight for that beef, having to fight for that A minus, which is great because I'm here to learn. That's what I should be saying. But no, like I am actually learning the language, or I'm actually learning about things that I've always been interested in, and I'm grateful for that. But I'm not gonna lie, the process with that can kind of be painful. Additionally, like, I don't think I'm tripping because GW's on like the list of hardest final exams. Like, I kid you not. Like, I will show you, I will insert a clip because I'm not playing with y'all. Like, we are on that list amongst like institutions of like Princeton, all of those hard. Yes, we are number 6. We are number 6 for hardest final exams. So this isn't a joke. But yeah, I kind of wish I knew that. And I think also another thing that might pair up with this is that the standard for extracurriculars, clearly I'm triggered, but is just raised. Like, I think I've told you enough that like people are constantly doing stuff, and if you are part of an e-ward or a part of an organization, like, it's for real. And maybe this kind of goes back to my personal high school experience of like the academics were definitely the strong suit in my school, and the extracurriculars were just like, I can pile them on to put on my resume. But this is like, seriously, like, this is time consuming. There are things I did for African Student Association as an e-board member that required me to be up late hours, like 12 a.m., 1 a.m., trying to finish an event. So definitely don't underestimate organizations, and kind of feel your way through it and ease your way through it, because hard classes plus hard extracurriculars and a job or internship in the middle is no, there are rodents. That took a while to get used to because I'm used to seeing little deer families. Now we seeing, ratatouille on the street, and that's not cute. But no, I'm playing. But my 5th point was, I wish I knew about GW's resources. Like, there are constantly networking events, there are constantly different programs, I guess if you like, I guess tailored towards your major. There are constantly people like who have a lot of success and a lot of wisdom to give on campus. And I would make it a priority to go, because as I started to go second semester, that's when I was like, yep, this is why we pay the big bucks. But no. Like, it's just kind of cool. Like, if your university has the opportunity to bring such, I guess, like, amazing people across a different spectrum of like, or a different range of disciplines, you should take advantage of that, because it doesn't happen every time. And it's definitely something that you can kind of get excited about, and definitely something that's not maybe unique to all universities. Also, in terms of like networking events, I think that just becomes increasingly important, or became increasingly important for me, because it's hard out here. It's hard out here to sometimes find an internship. It's hard out here to determine what you want to get out of your internship and what you're willing to contribute to your internship. So trying to get out there and trying to talk to potential employers could really help gauge what it is you want out of your career at this point in time, or your potential career at this point in time. So I feel like don't sleep on those. I feel like actually your academics are important, but I would put that fairly highly. Like, if academics is here, like, those networking events is here. Like, they're here. So don't skimp out on them. And honestly, if you're having trouble keeping up with, like the events, get a planner, sit down, make an effort to go to one of them at least once a week. Because that's something I regret a lot, just because there are so many opportunities that I would have known earlier if I had gone to them. And also, sometimes going to those events helps you kind of think like, okay, so I can't do this now freshman year, but I need to keep this in my line of sight for the near future. So yeah, do it, have fun with it, live your life, take advantage of the resources it has to give you. Can you believe, as I've spent like more hours setting up than I have talking you guys' ear off, my camera is about to die. So I think that is a fair warning to stop filming. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm more than welcome to answer any questions. And I hope to continue filming and producing more content. But yeah, bye.